James Macmillan, occupation advertising executive, age 53. Happiness. James Macmillan knows that there's more to happiness than good health and a bad memory. But he also knows that it would be impossible to put the happiness that he's feeling at this moment into words. Some other form of self-expression is required. Trouble is, it's after midnight in a sleeping suburban street, so his options are pretty restricted. He tries to slide on the rime of ice that's formed in the middle of the road, but doesn't entirely commit to it, fear of falling, and his rubber-soled shoes simply scuff the frost into inch-high furrows. What he has just done is actually a lot more like stumbling than gliding. He would like to shout at the stars, "Yee-haw!" but doesn't want to wake anybody. He's pretty sure that if he came across a pile of leaves, he would dance in it and kick them around. But it's January, so no leaves. In the end, all he can do is tilt his head to the sky and whisper, "Yes," over and over again. That and open his coat so that the freezing air can embrace him and make him feel even more alive. That's the trouble with experiencing intense happiness at 53. It's so hard to express because it seems to him that there's something anachronistic about it, that it's more properly a young person's thing, that middle-aged men are not really designed for happiness, any more than they're designed for wearing skinny jeans. Even so, it's like a flame that sweeps through him from his feet to the back of his eyes. And what's made him so absurdly happy is a conversation with his ex-wife. He and Tina were only married for 6 years. They met in their early 20s and for reasons he can't now bring to mind, married 6 months later. It was a register office do. She'd made her own dress out of a white Victorian tablecloth, carried a few irises. He wore a hideous khaki suit with wide lapels and flared trousers, a particularly ill-advised purple shirt. Their friends, mostly still single, are sporting all the colours of the rainbow in the photos. His best man, who he's long since lost touch with, wore a maroon elephant cord suit and white shoes. What James remembers primarily about the day is the reception in a grim country house hotel. It was 2 a.m. Tina had passed out in a chair and he was dancing by himself to a Marvin Gaye song. On their honeymoon on Crete, they found themselves sniping at one another, already out of kilter. In year 3, he said he wanted a trial separation. He shared a flat with a mate from work for 6 months. By and large, it was a terrible experience, and he was relieved when she agreed to take him back. And then one evening she said she would be gone in the morning. He was surprised and not surprised. He pleaded with her to reconsider, but she was implacable. He didn't see her again for 14 years, just filled in the divorce papers and returned them. In that time, he moved twice to different cities and had 2 serious and 3 not very serious relationships. One of these 3 looked for a while as though it might turn serious, but didn't. He hasn't yet managed to extricate himself fully from it. She got married twice more, once to an architect and once to a bloke who, as far as Ian could see, claimed to be an actor on the strength of appearing in a series of dog food commercials. Neither of them had kids. Most years they exchanged Christmas cards. And then, about 10 years ago, she got in touch. She was still married to Dog Food Man, but in retrospect, it's clear that things were not going well at that time. And since then, they've been slightly uneasy friends, meeting at parties, going to the occasional movie, the odd meal, until tonight, when she invited him to supper. It was fish pie, which he thought must be some kind of test. Or maybe she'd simply forgotten that he didn't like fish. In the event, it wasn't as bad as it looked. He remembered that her cooking wasn't much to write home about. During the course of the evening, she said 4 very important things. 1, that throughout their marriage he'd behaved like, quotes, such an idiot, that it was inevitable things fell apart. He couldn't really do anything other than agree furiously. 2, that even though he is 2 stone heavier than back then, she still finds him, quotes, infuriatingly attractive. 3, that in some ways her other marriages were such flops because she had compared husbands 2 and 3 unfavourably to him. And 4, although she might regret saying this in the morning, there was, quotes, unfinished business between them. James hasn't got the faintest idea what any of this might turn out to mean. No idea what, if anything, is going to happen next. No particular desire to make things happen. He just knows that the things she said have made him feel better than he's felt for years. In fact, he can only remember one other time in his life when he felt such intense joy. He was about 7 years old. It was a sunny morning after rain, and he was walking along a street very much like this one. He stood in the middle of the road like he's doing now, and saw the sky reflected in a puddle. He was amazed and overwhelmed by how blue it was. An ecstatic shiver shook his 7-year-old frame. Back then, he had no better idea how to put his feelings into words than he does now. But what he felt was a sense of limitlessness, a sense of being dissolved or absorbed into something greater than himself. Everything was wonderful, and he knew that he was part of everything.